welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Marcia Parker, and today, today we're doing the best and worst of horror TV of 2018. Yes, I watched a lot of TV this year versus movies. Binging was the best thing I could do for my life this year. So, I'm going to give you the top 5 of must-see 2018 in horror. I'm going to start with number 5.
Number 5.
And I'm going to go with Supernatural. And I know most people will be like, Supernatural is so done. I mean, it's been going on for 15 years now. But this year was really good. I love the storyline that's going on. We're bringing back old fan favorites. And that's one of the things that I really love about Supernatural. It is fun and you can't really die, because if your character does die, they're going to find a way of bringing you back. And it does foreshadow a little bit of things that are going to be happening in the years to come. And the one thing that came to my mind this year while watching it, as I was watching all of these favorite characters come back and branch off new storylines and just have a lot of fun with the new creatures that they're bringing in and kind of going back to their monster roots, I was thinking, you know, this kind of reminds me of my, soap opera days. This is my modern day horror, soap opera, because, the bad guys don't really die and the good guys don't really die either. They just keep going, which is really fun. But they did a really good job this year, kept me engaged throughout the season, and I watched every episode as it came out, which says a lot for 14 years of TV. So good job, Supernatural. You made it to my top 5.
Number 4.
4, I'm going to go with a new series that came out. I'm going to say Sabrina. I thought they did a really good job of making Sabrina a dark show, as it's meant to be. If you ever read the comics, it is not that 1990s Melissa Joan Hart series. It's actually really dark, really fun. You're following Sabrina at her first transition. She's turning 16. She has to make a decision if she's going to sign her name in the Devil's Book. And she has all these different influences that teenagers have to face. Like, do I wear black to my Satan's baptism? Do I stay with my boyfriend? Do I tell him I'm a witch? Do I tell my friends I'm a witch? I mean, it's really hard. It's really hard decisions to make as a young teenager, but she makes her decision in the end. It is interesting. I love the way they show the devil, the goat. He is really cool. There are some aspects of Sabrina I didn't quite like that made it into number 4. I thought she kind of was annoying. If you ever watched the Orange Is the New Black and the main character there, where you kind of just hate her, but you have to watch her. It kind of felt that way with Sabrina, because she just kept making these selfish decisions and didn't really think through, and gives 2 foxes on, what the consequence is gonna be. She doesn't think before she acts, and then she's like, oh, sorry, not sorry. And it's like, after a few episodes and your character's not learning or developing, it's really annoying. But I got through it. There's some really cool aspects with set design, acting, and production, all well done. So I would say give it a chance, and that's why I marked it number 4.
Number 3.
Number 3, I was really happy to watch. It is happy. We watched the trailer reaction here on our show, and it was really exciting because it's this really grungy, crooked cop that got kicked out of being a cop because he was just so awful and corrupted, and then all of a sudden one day, it is one of his lowest days, an imaginary friend pops up, and it ends up being his daughter. He never even knew it was his daughter's imaginary friend, because she was kidnapped, and the only person that can save her is this sorry sack of human being. And you're following the story from his perspective, and it does flash to the daughter's perspective as well. There's a lot of key players, a lot of great actors. The special effects with Happy was really good. It doesn't really throw you off as much as you thought it would. There were some really gruesome and horrific moments, and just be prepared. Just be prepared. I don't want to spoil anything, and I don't want to like take away from the awesomeness of this series, but it can be a little much at times. But at the same time, it does have a really fun and carefree kind of horror aspect to it. And so it's I mean, just take the worst and the best and you put it together, and that's what you got with Happy. And so that's why I made number 3, because it was so different but well done. And even though there's some things in there I wish I'd never watched or never saw, I'm happy that I got to watch Happy. So yay for number 3.
Number 2.
Number 2, I just got done watching this, and and it made it all the way to my number 2 right at the end of the year. And I'm gonna say, and you're gonna be surprised because of my history with this series, but I'm gonna go with Black Mirror. Bandersnatch. I don't know, is that right? Yes, that's right. So Bandersnatch, which it's really cool because it's just one super episode for Black Mirror, and it's interactive. It's a choose your own adventure. You're following this young, aspiring gamer who is like back in the beginning of games, when you just have kind of like adventure game without the text, and you're like, what? Okay, that's old. I can't remember the date time frame, but it's gotta be like, I think it was like the 80s. I think it was 1989 if I remember right. But you're following him, and you have to select different choices, and it starts as simple as choosing your own cereal, or what song do you want to listen to smash that guy's head in, and you're like, whoa! And it's cool because if you remember those adventure books, you go a certain way, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go this way, and then nope, the end. So you start over. So then you're like, okay, maybe I'm gonna go this way, and they're like, oh no, I'm gonna start over, but I'm only gonna go back here, and that was your experience. I did this for like 2 hours of my day. Like, I'm all like, where is this going? There's a lot of different recaps, and just like some people realize what's going on, and it does get a little meta at some point, which is kind of fun. It made me go, I like this. This is really cool. I thought the idea was amazing. I mean, it's something that, other platforms have tried to do. I mean, choosing your own adventure and being interactive is something that has been evolving over the years, and trying to get it to a TV format, a streaming format, and to get that right. Good job, Netflix. You are the super mecca of entertainment. And I applaud you, and that's why I continue to spend my money on you. It was great, and I'm not a big Black Mirror fan, never have been. I think there's only been like a couple of the anthology series that I enjoy to watch, but this one, it made it my number 2. So, in my opinion, that says a lot.
Number 1.
Everyone is gonna know what my number 1 is. I mean, if you have a different opinion of this number 1, I don't know what you're thinking, because number 1 of the horror TV has to be, for 2018, The Haunting of Hill House. Like, The Haunting of Hill House was amazing from start to finish, from actors to set design to production, cinematography, special effects. You name it, everything was so well calculated and thought out, and just engaging, and it just like, I just want to watch it like 7 times over, because there's just so many things that you might have not picked up the first time, and if you haven't watched it, I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's about a family of 7. It's 5 kids, 2 adults. They are house flippers. They bought this house, the house of the Hill House. I should say it's on Hill. I just want to say Hill on Hill House, whatever. Anyway, so they buy the house. They're gonna flip it, so they can buy their dream house, and it's riddled with ghosts and mystery. One horrible night, they get out. You don't really know what happens, and throughout the whole series, you are told what happens and how what happened when they got out, and then how it's affected their lives since then. Each episode, it revolves around a character, so you get all those different character perspectives, and it's just so well done. I just love this show. As soon as I watched it, I made everybody else watch it, so we could do the review, which we do have on the Horror Show channel, so make sure you watch that too. It is really good. So make sure 2018 top show is going to be Haunting of Hill House. Now, most disappointing. I'm going to say most disappointing. I don't want to say worst, because worst implies that I've watched everything there has to be out there, and I'm sure there are worse things than on this list, but I'm going to say the most disappointing for me for 2018 are as follows.
Number 5.
So my number 5 is Midnight Texas. So this is season 2. I was really hoping that after watching season 1 and now watching season 2 that it was going to get better. It's just such a really cool concept of all these different monsters congregating in this one town called Midnight Texas, where they can be monsters and do as monsters do, and there's drama, and they're just so cool, and there's the cinematography, the acting is there. I mean, they have all the elements, but there's something lacking with the story. I mean, the story was better than it was last year, so it was a little bit more engaging, but it wasn't quite the story that I'm looking. It's not the full piece that I'm looking for in a show if I'm going to be continuing to watch it. It has something about it that makes me want to watch the whole thing, but the potential's there, but it's not quite getting me all the way there. So that's why I'm going to say it's my number 5 of most disappointing for this year.
Number 4.
Number 4, I'm going to say is Castle Rock. I'm sorry. There's so many. We were looking forward to this show for as soon as we heard about it, before we even knew anything about it. All we heard was Castle Rock, Stephen King, here you go. We were all in. And we watched it episode by episode, and for me, there were some aspects that got me really excited, and I was really happy. And it's funny because, the other cast member crew, they feel the same way, but for different reasons. But it wasn't the full Monty at all. It felt like there was too many spider webs and not enough endings. They were trying to do too much. Some of the storylines fell off. You never even had heard anything. I remember there was one whole part where one of the characters got approached by the ghost dad, and you were like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a haunting ghost side, and then you never hear about it again, and most people forgot about it. So there's just something about that show that could be so good, especially if they're trying to focus on one storyline, and because it's supposed to be anthology, but then they have all of these different webs, and you created all of these webs, but then next year you're gonna start a new whole plate. It doesn't make sense. They're trying to do too much. They're trying to please too many people, and ended up not pleasing anybody. So I'm sorry, Castle Rock. Do better next time. Stick to one story. Don't make too many threads that you're not going to follow through on. So yes, Castle Rock. If you have Skarsgård, you got to use him to his full capabilities. Make him evil. Make him not evil. I don't care. Just stick with something. Please, Castle Rock. Please. Okay, next.
Number 3.
3. So we got Walking Dead. Walking Dead. This show, I can't believe that they think they're gonna have movies. They're gonna keep going for years. This is ridiculous. They've killed off their almost all of their main characters. I mean, Rick is gone. Well, killed off, right? He flew away. Come on. It was a good episode, but come on. No, I'm sorry. They have totally. As soon as Carl left the show, and I know that was last season, but once he left the show, and then we heard that Rick was going, and then also Maggie, and I mean, you're gonna do the Whisperers. You still have you still have Negan there, kind of like, is he going away? He's going back to Supernatural, so is he gonna be in Walking Dead anymore? I don't know. Michonne is just a mess. Like, I like that they have it opened up where they can have more fun with it and not be so about Rick and going back and forth. What is Rick gonna do? And it seems like they are opening up their wheelhouse a little bit more again, but at the same time, like, I wasn't that impressed. I really wasn't that impressed this year. I thought they did better than last year, but it was still very disappointing. I can't watch the show week for week. I have to wait till like 2 or 3 episodes so I can enjoy it. And when you get to that point, is it really that worth watching? So, number 3 is Walking Dead.
Number 2.
So I'm going to go ahead and make number 2 Handmade Sale then, because then I wanted to talk about that. I thought Handmade Sale was really good. However, it wasn't as good as the first season. And now we're kind of getting into this kind of dangerous territory, I think, because now we're halfway through the first season, we're already past the book. Second season, they're just kind of making it up as they're going. And now, it's just Astrid just keeps making these decisions that are really, really annoying. And it's like, okay, it's annoying. And I think the reason why it's annoying, because I know what they're going to be doing. And that's why it makes it so annoying. There are times where you are pleasantly surprised. The acting is still good. The cinematography is still good. Set design is still good. All of that's still good. I just feel like they're getting into dangerous territory and they're about to jump the shark on this series, which is kind of sad because they have everything they need in it, and I feel like the next season's definitely going to be the fall. But we'll see. I'm not. This season does not make me want to watch next season. I'm gonna watch it, but it doesn't make me go, I can't wait till the next episode.
Number 1.
So last one, worst of 2018. You're gonna watch it because it's been going on. It's a series that's been going on. A lot of people like, I don't know. American Horror Story Apocalypse was so, I don't even want to say it was overrated because I don't even know if I was really looking forward to it that much because I was anticipating it to not be good because the cult was so bad. And then this time around, it was just all, if you just want to watch Sarah Paulson being Sarah Paulson 6 different ways, then we're going to watch this and you might enjoy it. There's only a couple episodes that I thought was good, but, we're going back to the Coven. Didn't like the Coven. We got to see a little bit of the murder house. The one thing I did think was nice was that they did touch base in most of the previous seasons. They did loop a lot of them in. So I thought that was fun when you pick those things up. But for the most part, I don't know. It's just not as fun as it was from the beginning, and the storylines, and you're just getting muddled now that you are connecting them, because and the whole thing with Sarah Paulson proves that, because she ended up having to play 6 different roles, and you're like, okay, wait, who is she right now? Like, you're gonna get to a point where it's gonna be a room, and it's just gonna be 6 copies of her wearing different outfits and communicating back and forth until your mind explodes. So I don't like that it's going in that direction. And I don't like that they underutilize Evan Peters. They use him in a really annoying role again. Like, come on, let's get back to the basics. Let's have more fun. Let's get back to the monsters and the scare and the lore, and like really dig into those type of storylines, like, because what they're doing isn't scary. It's not impressive, and it doesn't make me think like it's not Murder House, it's not The Hotel, it's not Asylum. Like, those were ideal. And we thought that we got back to that with Roanoke. Roanoke was great. They had all of the elements there, and then ever since then they've just been blah, blah. Nobody wants to watch this. So I'm sorry, American Horror Story, you got to do better. 2019 has got to be better. So that is my roundup for 2018. I hope you enjoy it. I'm sure there's going to be people who agree and there's going to be people who disagree. Lou. So, but I want to hear your comments below. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, what you're looking forward to next year. There's just so much going there, and I wish I would have watched more if I could have watched so much TV, because there's so much out there. Like, I'm not a big fan of Z Nation. But there were some new ones, like Mr. Mercedes I didn't get to finish. I got part way through it, and it's so good. There's so much out there, so go out there, let me know what I'm missing that I need to watch, and put it in the notes so I can watch it. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I've been Marcia Parker. This is The Horror Show, and stay scared.